Hello, I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about the internet and about certain companies that are dominating it. Companies like Google and Facebook and Tumblr and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat, all the big ones. Well, every time you interact with them, share part of your information with them, however strategic you may think you're being, however careful you may think you are, however limiting you may be, these companies are very carefully and selectively colonizing the internet and you via your online presence. And of course, more traditional media, it's more obvious to see the effect of these lies. And so that's why, over the last 10 years, most people have gradually weaned themselves off of cable, and it's primarily an internet-based media system. But that's shifting as well, too, now, through smart boxes and different other avenues that are vetted, that are strategically formed to create another kind of pseudo-reality that we're fed. So, what is being hidden from us? Many people believe that it is a spiritual reality that exceeds all expectations, that we are essentially very, very powerful beings, and that it is in the best interests of the people who hold most of the material wealth, most of the political power in the world, to continue to present us with these false realities in order to maintain their power. So it's a topic of privilege, and we all know how long it takes to break privilege down. So I'm number 2 in privilege level, and it took me a really long time to be able to identify that I have privilege, and I do, and I'm just number 2. So the number 1 is westernized, typically Caucasian males, and they hold a hell of a lot more power. Depending on the region where you live, sometimes maleness trumps color, sometimes color trumps maleness. It varies, right? Same with gender. There are certain women who will walk on the backs of other women to maintain the level of privilege and power that they've inherited through typically their male relatives, whether that be through kind of historical inheritance of wealth garnered through the exploitation of people of color, that their fathers or grandfathers or great-grandfathers did, whatever. There have been so many examples of this. In African American culture, they call this, I think, uncle, or I don't want to describe it, but it's like Uncle Jimmy syndrome or something, where a person of that kind of privileged caste betrays another person on the same level to achieve a temporary boost in privilege. So this happens all the time. It's also known as lateral violence. But typically, white men are number 1, white women are number 2, Hispanic or kind of mixed race men are number 3, Hispanic mixed race women are number 4. Actually, no, pardon me, it's Asian men, Asian women, then Hispanic/mixed race men, Hispanic/mixed race women, then sometimes it ranges. Sometimes it can be Aboriginal, sometimes it can be black, but it's typically men, women, men, women, men, women, men, women, as you kind of work your way down. Now, the privilege levels are highly arbitrary, they make no sense, they're not biologically linked whatsoever to any logical basis or scientific explanation. which many people of my race have been trying to prove for hundreds of years, and no, there's no scientific evidence for it. But there are some interesting theories that go outside of the mainstream doctrine. And I was chatting with a partner of a friend of mine. His name is Jay, and he's of Caribbean / African descent. And he was just studying a few different sources surrounding the theory of different planets, because we all look very different. The concentration of melanin in our skin is incredibly disparate in some regions. And so he's been finding a lot of sources that measure out how much of a difference would there really be between nations and between different geographical areas on one planet. And they're not a lot. The contrast that we have on planet Earth far exceeds what is realistically, imaginable in terms of melanin concentrations just on planet Earth between different races. So that supports a theory that, okay, so maybe black people are from this planet, Hispanic people are from this planet, Caucasoid people from this planet, Asian / Mongoloid people from another planet, whatever. So that's one way of looking at it. And it's really interesting, again, to think about. To me, it's interesting to think about kind of why we're all here, why this is. Another cool theory is that, we're all here because we serve a greater slave race. Not a greater as in they're better than us, just a greater as in they've stolen power from us, and it's just another kind of cosmic privileged hierarchy which is full of shit. And a lot of people in the last 10 years have kind of proven the theory that there's a matrix going on right now, and that we're all plasma beams, and it's all quantum mechanics. And we can, if you can study how to be fully present and focus through meditation, through mindfulness, through spiritual development, whatever you choose to believe, whatever you choose to practice, as long as the tenet and the primary tenet is one of love, one of peace, one of compassion, one of higher consciousness, higher vibrational pull, this will help you be able to see through the blandness, the mindlessness, the Brave New World-esqueness of our current kind of, what do they call that, a faux reality. So, keep meditating. Really, really do it. It is so good for us. Let's all do it together. Meditate party, okay? Thank you.